Are you looking for some creative ways to use your diode laser to personalize metal items? Since we all know that a diode laser can't really engrave metal items, I got a solution for you, and it's really easy, looks good, and works awesome. I'm Jeff, you're watching Home Built Workshop, so stick around. Fire the lasers! What's going on? Welcome to Home Built Workshop. I hope your day is going great. I have a guitar show coming up very soon, and I'm trying to create some other items besides my handmade Hayley guitars that I can have at my table just to kind of have on display, some merch or swag, as we might call it. After doing some searching around, I found some of these little tools. These are called fret rockers, and they're used to locate uneven frets when you're working on an instrument. Now, these are what I'm going to be personalizing in this video, but really any metal item, you're going to be able to use this exact same process. I'm here with my trusty xTool D1 Pro 20-watt diode laser. And if you're familiar with lasers at all, you'll know that a diode laser can't engrave metal. In order to be able to engrave or etch on metal, you need what's called a fiber laser. Sometimes you can do some things with a CO2 laser, might be able to make a mark of some sort on there, but this machine, being a diode laser, definitely is not going to do what I would like to be able to do. So we need a little bit of help. In order to make this process work, I'm going to be using this laser marking material. This one is made by Cermark. This is the LMM 6060. They've got a couple different versions of this, but the 6060 is what I have experience with. There's also some spray can versions available, which look very handy, but I don't have any experience with those, so I can't recommend one in particular, but I can say that I have seen results from several different manufacturers. They all seem to work basically the same. Just make sure, no matter what product you're using, you do some testing first, figure out what your machine needs for power and speed, because all the machines are a little bit different. Now, it's been a bit of time since I've used this stuff, but if my memory still serves me correctly, which we all know it might not be, I'm pretty sure this has already been thinned with, I think it's denatured alcohol. Again, don't quote me on that because I don't completely remember. Just make sure you read any instructions and thin as necessary if it's required for your particular product. I'm just going to give this thing a good shake just to make sure it's well mixed, and I'll show you how easy it is to use a product like this. I'm going to use some denatured alcohol just to clean the surface really well. These parts are shipped with quite a bit of oil on them, so I want to get that oil off of there. That way we get good adhesion and we don't have to worry about anything being on the surface that could cause this stuff to not stick well. Now we'll open up our little bottle of Cermark. I'm going to use one of these little acid brushes to brush on this stuff. Works pretty well. Any sort of brush I think will probably get the job done. And I'm just going to brush on sort of a heavy coat. And you can see that it's green right now. Don't worry, it's going to change when we hit it with a laser. When you're applying the fluid, make sure you go farther than where your engraving is going to go. You don't want to miss any areas where something doesn't get covered with the fluid. It doesn't take a whole lot. You just want to make sure that it's nice and even and you have no bare spots in the middle. You want to have really good coverage, and we're just going to let this dry completely. Really only takes a few minutes. Here's our pieces after just a couple of minutes. You can see how it's now turned to more of a dull green. These things are ready to load into the laser. Now on my laser, I have this little removable fence here. This is a 90-degree angle, and it allows me to position things in the machine in exactly the same spot every time. I just line it up against the fence, slide it down, and it's square, and it's always going to be in the same spot. Now it's probably hard to see this in here. I'm using Lightburn, and in Lightburn I have that same fence in here, which from there I can align all of my texts and logos and things. It makes it really easy, so as long as I line it up with the fence in Lightburn, it's going to burn in the same spot on the laser. Now I've already done my testing, so I know my power and my speed settings. Don't forget to do your own so that you can get your own settings to burn correctly. Let's do this. And now if we take a look at our part, you can see the area that we have burned has turned black, and now we just need to clean off this green stuff, which is really simple. And there's my customized Hayley Guitars fret rocker, all ready to be displayed at my table at the upcoming guitar show. This is such a cool process. The results look awesome. The possibilities are really endless as long as you're starting with a clean, unfinished piece of metal. It's going to work great. Make sure you do your testing to get your specific machine's settings dialed in and have fun with it. Now it's time for me to get back to work and get the rest of these things personalized so that I have it all ready to go at the upcoming guitar show. Hope you found this helpful. Hopefully it gives you some ideas, maybe some options to explore if you're looking to personalize some metal things using your laser engraver. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. Ready, aim, fire. So cool.